what to eat, how to spend our time. But among these countless decisions lie pivotal moments, crossroads where one choice can alter the entire trajectory of our existence. Where are you now? Your job, your relationship, your home. All these are the fruits, decisions you have made along your journey. Some may have seemed trivial at the time, while others weighed heavily on your mind. Yet each has played a role in crafting your current reality. The power of decision is one of the greatest gifts bestowed upon us as human beings. It's the chisel with which we sculpt our destinies, the brush with which we paint our futures. Yet so often, we fail to recognize the immense potential within our choices. Why is this? Why do we underestimate the impact of our decisions? It's because we've been conditioned to believe that major life changes require grand gestures, meticulously planned strategies, or strokes of luck. But the truth is far simpler and far more empowering. All it takes is one decision to set in motion a chain of events that can revolutionize your entire existence. A young woman trapped in a dead-end job in a small town. Each day was a carbon copy of the last. Wake up, go to work, come home, sneak, repeat. Julie felt stuck, a prisoner in a life that seemed to be happening to her rather than one she was actively creating. One ordinary evening, while mindlessly scrolling through her social media feed, Julie stumbled upon an advertisement for a free online coding course. In that moment, she faced a decision: continue scrolling or sign up for the course. It seemed like such a small choice, almost inconsequential. But Julie decided to take a chance. She signed up for the course. That single decision ignited a chain reaction in Julie's life. As she delved into the world of coding, she unearthed a passion she never knew existed within her. She found herself staying up late into the night, eagerly absorbing new concepts and solving programming challenges. Within 6 months, Julie had completed several coding courses and built a small portfolio of projects. She began applying for entry-level tech jobs in nearby cities. A year after that fateful decision to sign up for a free online course, Julie was working as a junior developer at a startup, earning twice her previous salary and loving every minute of her work. Julie's life had been completely transformed, all because of one decision. She didn't wait for the perfect moment or for everything to align just right. She simply made a choice to try something new, to take a step in a different direction. This is the power that resides within each of us. The power to make a decision that can change everything. But here's the catch. This power is only effective if we choose to wield it. Many of us live our lives on autopilot. We fall into routines. We accept circumstances as they are. We tell ourselves stories about why things can't be different. We become passive observers in our own lives rather than active creators. But life is not something that happens to you. Life is something that responds to you. It responds to your decisions, to your actions, to your beliefs about what's possible. Every great achievement, every remarkable success story, every instance of personal transformation begins with a decision to try, to change, to believe, to persist. Some of the most successful and fulfilled people you know or have heard about, do you think they got where they are by chance? By waiting for the perfect opportunity to fall into their laps? No. They got there by making decisions. Decisions to pursue their passions, to take risks, to learn new skills, to step out of their comfort zones. I'm not saying that one decision will instantly transport you to your dream life. Life-changing decisions often require commitment, hard work, and perseverance to bear fruit. But that initial decision is the catalyst, the spark that sets everything else in motion. You might be thinking, that's great for Jolie, but my situation is different. I have too many responsibilities. I do not have the resources. I'm too old. I'm too young. It's too late for me. These are all stories we tell ourselves to avoid making decisions. They're excuses that keep us trapped in lives that do not fulfill us, in circumstances that do not serve our highest potential. It's never too late to make a decision that can change your life, your age, your background, your current circumstances, None of these determine your future. What determines your future are the decisions you make right now, in this moment, and in all the moments to come. Life-changing decisions do not always have to be grand or dramatic. Sometimes, the most powerful decisions are the small ones we make consistently over time. It could be a decision to wake up an hour early each day to work on a personal project. It could be a decision to save a small portion of your income regularly. It could be a decision to express gratitude to someone in your life each day. These might seem insignificant in the moment, but their cumulative effect can be profound. Like compound interest, these small decisions multiply over time, creating significant change almost imperceptibly. The key is to make these decisions consciously and consistently, to approach each choice, no matter how small, with the understanding that it's shaping your future. I want to address something important. Making life-changing decisions is not always easy. In fact, it can be downright terrifying. Why? Because significant decisions often require us to step out of our comfort zones, to face our fears, to risk failure or disappointment. The discomfort you feel when making a big decision is not a sign that you are making the wrong choice. It's often a sign that you are making a choice that will lead to growth. Growth and comfort do not coexist. If you want to change your life, if you want to achieve things you have never achieved before, you must be willing to do things you have never done before. And that often starts with making decisions that scare you. Fear is a natural part of the decision-making process, especially when the stakes are high. The key is not to eliminate fear, but to learn how to act despite it. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to act in the face of fear. Each time you make a decision despite feeling afraid, you build your courage muscle and expand your comfort zone. So how do we cultivate the ability to make decisions that can change our lives? How do we develop the courage to choose growth over comfort, possibility over security? First and foremost, we need to develop self-awareness. Understanding our values, passions, and long-term goals is crucial in making decisions that align with our authentic selves. Take time to reflect on what truly matters to you. What kind of life do you want to lead? What legacy do you want to leave behind? When you have a clear vision of your ideal future, decisions become easier to make. You can simply ask yourself, does this choice bring me closer to or further from my goals? We need to gather information and seek diverse perspectives. In today's interconnected world, we have access to an unprecedented wealth of knowledge and experiences. Use this to your advantage. Research, ask questions, seek advice from those who have walked similar paths. But be cautious not to fall into the trap of analysis paralysis. There comes a point where you have to trust your instincts and take action. Every significant decision involves some level of uncertainty. That's unavoidable. The key is to assess potential outcomes realistically and prepare for various scenarios. Think several moves ahead, like a chess player anticipating their opponent's responses. What's the best case scenario? What's the worst? And most importantly, how we handle each outcome. This kind of strategic thinking does not eliminate risk, but it does make it more manageable. It allows you to make bold moves with confidence, knowing you have considered the potential pitfalls and have a plan to navigate them. But perhaps the most important factor in making life-changing decisions is cultivating courage. It takes bravery to step into the unknown, to choose a path that others might not understand or support. This courage does not mean an absence of fear. It means acting despite that fear, fueled by the belief that the potential for growth and fulfillment outweighs the comfort of the status quo. Courage is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. So start with small acts of bravery in your daily life. Speak up in a meeting when you have an idea. Try a new hobby you have been curious about. Have that difficult conversation you have been putting off. Each time you push past your comfort zone, you build the courage needed to make bigger, more impactful decisions. It's important to remember that not every choice will lead to immediate success. In fact, some of life's most valuable lessons come from decisions that didn't work out as we'd hoped. These moments of perceived failure are not setbacks, but stepping stones. They provide invaluable insights that shape our future seas and contribute to our personal growth. The key is to approach each decision, regardless of its outcome, with a mindset of curiosity and learning. What can I learn from this experience? How has this decision helped me grow as a person? What would I do differently next time? By reframing failures as learning opportunities, you free yourself from the paralyzing fear of making the wrong choice. Instead, you can approach decision-making with openness and a growth mindset. This perspective shift is liberating. It allows you to make choices that challenge you and push you out of your comfort zone, rather than always opting for the safe or easy path. After all, it's often the decisions that scare us the most that have the greatest potential to change our lives for the better. Once you have made a choice, especially a significant one, it's essential to commit to it fully. Half-hearted commitments rarely lead to transformative results. It's when we throw ourselves wholeheartedly into our choices that we unlock their true potential to change our lives. Commitment does not mean blindly sticking to a course of action if it's clearly not working. It means giving your decision a fair chance to succeed. It means putting in the effort, pushing through the initial challenges, and being patient enough to see results. This level of commitment often requires sacrifice. It might mean giving up leisure time to work on your goals, or stepping away from relationships that no longer serve you. It might mean facing your fears and pushing through discomfort on a regular basis. But these sacrifices are what separate life-changing decisions from fleeting whims. They're what transform mere intentions into concrete results. Are you fully committed to your choices? Are you willing to put in the work, make the sacrifices, and push through the challenges to see your decisions through? Commitment does not mean rigidity. It's about staying true to your goals while being flexible in your approach. It's about getting back up when you stumble, adjusting your strategy when needed, but never losing sight of what you are working towards. This kind of commitment can be scary. It requires vulnerability, a willingness to put yourself out there and risk failure. But it's in this space of committed action that true transformation occurs. Think of commitment as the bridge between decision and change. You can make all the right decisions, but without commitment, they remain mere intentions. It's commitment that turns your decisions into reality. It's important to recognize that our choices do not exist in a vacuum. They're influenced by our environment, our past experiences, and the people around us. Understanding these influences can help us make more intentional, authentic decisions. Our environment plays a significant role in shaping our choices. The places we spend our time, the media we consume, the culture we are immersed in, all of these factors subtly guide our decision-making process. Take a moment to evaluate your environment. Is it conducive to the kind of decisions you want to make? Does it support your goals and values? If not, perhaps one of the most impactful decisions you can make is to change your environment. This might mean physically relocating to a new city or country. It might mean curating your social media feed to expose yourself to inspiring content. It could involve seeking out new social circles that align with your aspirations. By consciously shaping your environment, you set the stage for better decision making. Our past experiences also heavily influence our choices. Past successes make us more likely to take similar actions in the future, while past failures might make us overly cautious. While it's important to learn from our experiences, we must be careful not to let them limit our future choices. Just because something didn't work out in the past does not mean it won't succeed under different circumstances or with your increased wisdom and skills. The people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our decisions. Jim Rohn famously said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Consider the individuals in your inner circle. Do they support your goals? Do they challenge you to grow? Do they inspire you to make bold, life-changing decisions? Surrounding yourself with positive, growth-minded individuals can dramatically influence your decision-making process. These people can provide valuable perspectives, offer support when you are facing tough choices, and inspire you to reach for your dreams. On the flip side, negative influences can hold you back from making decisions that could change your life for the better. Sometimes, one of the most important decisions you can make is to distance yourself from relationships that no longer serve your growth. It's crucial to develop a strong sense of self-trust in a world full of conflicting advice and opinions. The ability to tune into your own inner wisdom is invaluable. Self-trust does not mean ignoring external input or acting on every impulse. Rather, it's about developing a deep understanding of your own values, intuitions, and aspirations. It's about learning to distinguish between the voice of fear and the voice of your authentic self. Building self-trust takes time and practice. Start by making small decisions based on your intuition. Then reflect on the outcomes. Will you write to trust your gut? What can you learn from the experience? Over time, you will develop a stronger connection to your inner guidance system. You are the expert on your own life. While it's valuable to seek advice and learn from others' experiences, ultimately, you are the one who has to live with the consequences of your decisions. Trust in your ability to make choices that align with your true self. The human brain is remarkably responsive to vivid mental imagery. When you can clearly envision the outcome you desire, you are more likely to make decisions that align with that vision. Take time to regularly visualize your ideal future. What does your life look like after making that big decision? How do you feel? What new opportunities have opened up? The more detailed and emotion-rich your visualization, the more powerful its effect on your decision-making process. This practice not only helps clarify your goals, but also builds your confidence in pursuing them. When you can see your desired outcome clearly in your mind's eye, it becomes more tangible, more achievable. This confidence can provide the boost you need to make those crucial, life-changing decisions. It's important to cultivate patience. In our fast-paced world, there's often pressure to make quick decisions and see immediate results. But truly life-changing decisions often require time to unfold. When you make a significant choice, whether it's changing careers, starting a business, or working on personal growth, give it time to bear fruit. The most rewarding outcomes often come after periods of uncertainty and challenge. During these times, remind yourself of why you made the decision in the first place. Reconnect with your vision and your commitment. Patience also applies to the decision-making process itself. While some choices need to be made quickly, many of life's most important decisions benefit from careful consideration. Give yourself permission to take the time you need to gather information, reflect on your options, and connect with your intuition. This does not mean procrastinating or avoiding decisions out of fear. It means giving important choices the time and attention they deserve. Sometimes, sleeping on a decision or taking a few days to mull it over can provide clarity and confidence in your choice. It's crucial to develop resilience. Not every decision will lead to immediate success, and there will likely be obstacles along the way. Resilience is what allows you to bounce back from setbacks, learn from challenges, and keep moving forward. Building resilience starts with shifting your perspective on difficulties. Instead of seeing them as roadblocks, view them as opportunities for growth and learning. When faced with a challenge resulting from a decision you have made, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make me stronger? Resilience also involves developing a growth mindset. Believe in your ability to learn, adapt, and overcome obstacles. Remind yourself that your skills and capabilities are not fixed. With effort and perseverance, you can develop the tools needed to navigate any challenge that comes your way. Fear is a natural part of the decision-making process. Especially when the stakes are high, the key is not to eliminate fear, but to learn how to act despite it. Start by acknowledging your fears. What exactly are you afraid of? Often, when we shine a light on our fears, we realize they're not as overwhelming as they seemed in the shadows of our mind. Break down your fears into specific concerns, then develop action plans to address each one. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the ability to act in the face of fear. Each time you make a decision despite feeling afraid, you build your courage muscle and expand your comfort zone. You will find that decisions that once seemed daunting become more manageable. This growth in courage does not just apply to the big, life-altering choices. It permeates every aspect of your life, empowering you to live more authentically and boldly. How this newfound courage might manifest in your daily life. Perhaps you will find yourself speaking up more often in meetings, sharing ideas you might have previously kept to yourself. You might be more willing to try new experiences. Whether it's traveling to a country you have always dreamed of visiting or taking up a hobby that's always intrigued you. In your relationships, you might have the courage to be more vulnerable, to express your true feelings and needs. This expansion of your comfort zone is a gradual process. It's like exercising a muscle. You do not go from lifting 5 pounds to 50 overnight. Instead, you incrementally increase the weight, allowing a muscle to grow stronger over time. Similarly, as you make more courageous decisions, you build your capacity to handle bigger challenges and uncertainties. One of the beautiful things about this process is that it's self-reinforcing. Each time you make a courageous decision and survive or even thrive, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling more than you thought. This builds confidence, which in turn makes it easier to make bold decisions in the future. It's important to note that expanding your comfort zone does not mean you will never feel fear or uncertainty again. In fact, if you are constantly pushing your boundaries, you will likely encounter these feelings regularly. The difference is that you will have developed the skills and confidence to move forward despite these feelings. You will likely notice changes in how you perceive challenges and opportunities. What once seemed like insurmountable obstacles may start to look like exciting challenges. Risks that previously felt too great to take might begin to seem like calculated gambles worth making. This shift in perspective is powerful. It can open up possibilities you never even considered before. You might find yourself considering career paths you previously thought were out of reach, or pursuing goals you once dismissed as unrealistic. Your world expands as your courage grows. But it's not just about the big, dramatic changes. This courage also manifests in the small. Everyday choices that cumulatively shape your life. It might give you the strength to set boundaries in relationships, to prioritize your own well-being, or to stand up for your values even when it's uncomfortable. You will also develop a greater sense of personal agency. You will recognize that while you can't control every circumstance in your life, you always have the power to choose how you respond. This realization is incredibly empowering. It shifts you from a reactive stance, where life happens to you, to a proactive one, where you actively shape your experiences and outcomes. This sense of agency extends to how you view your past decisions as well. Instead of dwelling on regrets or playing the what-if game, you will be more likely to see past choices as valuable learning experiences. Even decisions that didn't work out as planned become stepping stones on your journey of growth and self-discovery. You become more comfortable with making courageous decisions. You will likely find that your decision-making process itself evolves. You might become more efficient, able to quickly assess situations and make choices without getting bogged down in overthinking. You might also become more intuitive, learning to trust your gut instincts while still balancing them with rational analysis. This evolution in your decision-making abilities can have a profound impact on your productivity and effectiveness in all areas of life. You will waste less time and energy on indecision or second-guessing yourself. Instead, you will be able to move forward with confidence, adjusting course as needed based on new information or changing circumstances. You may also find yourself becoming an inspiration to others. Your willingness to make bold decisions and step out of your comfort zone can motivate those around you to do the same. Without even realizing it, you might become a role model for friends, family members, or colleagues who are struggling with their own decisions. This ripple effect of courage is powerful. By making courageous choices in your own life, you contribute to creating a culture of bravery and authenticity in your community. You show others what's possible when you are willing to take risks and bet on yourself. Of course, this journey of courageous decision making is not always smooth or linear. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and times when you question whether you are on the right path. These challenges are a natural and necessary part of the process. They're opportunities for growth, resilience building, and self-reflection. During these difficult moments, it's crucial to be kind to yourself. Remember that courage is not about being fearless or never making mistakes. It's about continuing to move forward, to make decisions and take action, even when you are uncertain or afraid. Every setback is a chance to learn, adjust, and come back stronger. You will likely notice a shift in your relationship with uncertainty. Instead of seeing it as something to be feared or avoided, you might start to view it as an inherent part of life's adventure. You might even begin to embrace uncertainty, recognizing that it's often in the unknown that the greatest opportunities for growth and discovery lie. This comfort with uncertainty can be incredibly liberating. It frees you from the need to have everything figured out before you take action. It allows you to be more spontaneous, more open to unexpected opportunities, and more adaptable in the face of change. You will also likely become more discerning about which decisions truly matter. Not every choice requires extensive deliberation or courage. By recognizing which decisions have the potential to significantly impact your life, you can focus your energy and courage where it matters most. This discernment does not mean ignoring the smaller decisions. Rather, it's about developing a sense of proportion, understanding that while every choice contributes to shaping your life, some have more transformative potential than others. This awareness can help you allocate your time, energy, and courage more effectively. You might find that your definition of success evolves. Instead of focusing solely on external markers of achievement, you might start to value the process of growth itself. Success becomes less about reaching a specific destination and more about who you become along the journey. This shift in perspective can be profoundly liberating. It frees you from the tyranny of external validation and allows you to measure your progress by your own standards. You might find greater satisfaction in taking on challenges that stretch you, regardless of the outcome, than in playing it safe and achieving predictable results. It's a lifelong journey. There's no final destination where you will have it all figured out. Instead, it's an ongoing process of growth, learning, and self-discovery. Each decision is an opportunity to align more closely with your authentic self and to create a life that truly resonates with your values and aspirations. The power to change your life through a single decision is always within your grasp. Every moment presents an opportunity to make a choice that could alter your path, open new doors, or bring you closer to your goals. But this power only becomes transformative when you have the courage to make those decisions, especially the ones that scare you or push you out of your comfort zone. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. It's a skill that can be developed, a muscle that grows stronger with use. As you cultivate this courage, you will find that your capacity for making life-changing decisions expands. You will become more resilient in the face of challenges, more adaptable to change, and more confident in your ability to shape your own destiny. The journey of courageous decision-making is not always easy. There will be moments of doubt, setbacks, and unexpected obstacles. But these challenges are not roadblocks. They're opportunities for growth, learning, and self-discovery. Each difficult decision you face is a chance to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. I challenge you to approach your decisions with renewed intentionality and courage. Recognize the power you hold in each choice, no matter how small it may seem. Trust in your ability to make decisions that align with your true self and your deepest aspirations. Embrace uncertainty as a sign that you are growing and pushing your boundaries. One decision can indeed change your life, but it's the accumulation of courageous decisions made consistently over time that truly transforms it. You have within you the wisdom, the strength, and the resilience to create the life you desire. All it takes is the courage to decide to act, and to persevere.
You are tree, your roots strong, branches supple.
Did you know that AI trading systems can give you super...
Have you ever watched a broken bone heal? It's one of the most profound mysteries of our existence. When a bone breaks, something remarkable happens. It doesn't just repair itself, it becomes stronger at the point of fracture. The body literally reinforces that vulnerable spot until it's more resilient than before. That's not just biology, that's prophecy. That's a divine message written into our very cells, telling us something essential about the nature of healing and human potential. You see, most people misunderstand what healing really means. They think healing is about getting back to normal, returning to who you were before the wound. But true healing, the kind that transforms lives, isn't about going backward. It's about emerging stronger, wiser, more powerful than you've ever been. Look at your hands for a moment. Really look at them. Those hands have wiped tears away. They've balled into fists of frustration. They've trembled with fear and uncertainty. But those same hands have also created beautiful things. They've lifted others up. They've reached out for help when you needed it most. Every scar, every callus, every line tells a story of survival and growth. You're not here by accident today. You're not listening to these words by chance. Something inside you knows it's time. Time to stop running from your wounds. Time to stop hiding behind your smile. Time to stop pretending that everything is fine when your soul is crying out for healing. Let me tell you something powerful. Your pain is not a punishment. Your struggles are not a sentence. They're an invitation. An invitation to discover strength you never knew you had. An invitation to become someone you've never been before. We live in a world that's afraid of healing. A world that would rather numb the pain than face it. A world that sells us distractions and calls them solutions. But you're here because something in your spirit is rising up, refusing to settle for bandages when what you need is transformation. Do you know why most people never truly heal? It's not because they can't. It's not because they don't want to. It's because they're trying to heal while holding on to the very things that wounded them in the first place. They're trying to forgive while nursing resentment, trying to move forward while clinging to the past, trying to love while guarding their hearts with walls of steel. But real healing demands courage. The courage to look at your wounds without flinching. The courage to question everything you thought you knew about yourself. The courage to let go of who you were so you can become who you're meant to be. I see people in this room who have been carrying burdens that were never theirs to bear. Carrying shame that doesn't belong to you. Carrying guilt that was forced upon you. Carrying pain that was inherited from generations before you. Today, right here, right now, we're going to start laying those burdens down. Some of you have been wounded by words spoken over you. Words that told you you weren't enough. Words that made you question your worth. Words that planted seeds of doubt in your heart. But I want you to understand something. Those words may have shaped your past, but they do not have to dictate your future. Your healing journey isn't about proving anyone wrong. It's not about getting revenge. It's not even about making others understand. It's about setting yourself free. Free from the expectations that have imprisoned you. Free from the judgments that have defined you. Free from the limitations that have confined you. Think about a time when you felt completely whole. Before the disappointments. Before the heartbreaks. Before life taught you to guard your joy. That wholeness is still inside you. It was never lost. It was never taken. It was just buried under layers of hurt and fear and doubt. But here's what makes today different. You're ready. Ready to dig deep. Ready to face what scares you. Ready to heal not just the surface wounds, but the root causes. Ready to transform your pain into power. Your struggles into strength. Your wounds into wisdom. You see, when a master artist repairs broken pottery, they don't try to hide the cracks. They fill them with gold, creating something more beautiful than the original. That's what real healing looks like. It's not about erasing your scars, it's about transforming them into testimony. Not about forgetting your past, it's about redeeming it. Every tear you've cried has watered the seeds of your strength. Every disappointment has been preparing you for greater purpose. Every setback has been setting you up for a comeback that will leave the world in awe. But let's talk about something that nobody wants to discuss, the comfort of our pain. Yes, you heard me right. Sometimes we hold on to our wounds not because we can't heal, but because our pain has become familiar. It's become our identity, our excuse, our shield against taking risks and living fully. You've been carrying that pain for so long that you've forgotten who you are without it. You've wrapped your identity around your trauma like a security blanket, telling yourself that's just who you are now. Broken, damaged, unfixable. But that's not your identity, that's your wound talking. Every single person in this room has a story that could break hearts. Every single one of you has endured things that would make others crumble. But you're still here, still breathing, still fighting. That's not weakness, that's warrior spirit. That's not survival, that's supernatural strength. You know what makes healing so challenging? It's not just about letting go of pain, it's about letting go of who we became because of that pain. The walls we built, the masks we wear, the patterns we created to protect ourselves. They served a purpose once, but now they're prisons disguised as protection. Consider how a butterfly emerges. The struggle to break free from its cocoon is precisely what strengthens its wings. If you were to help it, if you were to break open that cocoon to ease its struggle, you would actually prevent it from ever being able to fly. Sometimes our struggles are not obstacles to our transformation, they are the transformation. Some of you have been praying for healing while running from the very process that would heal you. You've been asking for strength while avoiding the challenges that would make you stronger. You've been seeking growth while refusing to let go of what's keeping you small. Let me tell you something that might shake you. Comfort is overrated. We live in a world obsessed with comfort. But comfort never transformed anyone. Comfort never built character. Comfort never created champions. Real healing happens outside your comfort zone. In those moments when you're forced to confront what you've been avoiding. Your pain is trying to teach you something. Your struggles are trying to show you something. Your wounds are trying to wake you up to something. But you can't hear the message if you're busy drowning it out with distractions, numbing it with addictions, or hiding it behind achievement. Think about the ocean for a moment. The surface can be chaos, waves crashing, storms raging, everything in turmoil. But deep beneath the surface, perfect peace, unshakable calm. That's what real healing looks like. Not the absence of storms, but the presence of something deeper than any storm can touch. Some of you have been trying to heal while still participating in the very things that wounded you. Still in toxic relationships, still in soul-crushing environments. Still engaging with people who drain your spirit. You can't heal in the same environment that made you sick. Sometimes healing requires radical change. But here's what nobody tells you about healing. It's not just about what you need to let go of. It's about what you need to embrace. New thoughts, new beliefs, new patterns, new possibilities. You can't just empty your life of what hurts you. You have to fill it with what heals. Your healing journey is not just about you. Your breakthrough will break chains for generations to come. Your courage to face your wounds will give others permission to face theirs. Your transformation will create a ripple effect that touches lives you'll never even meet. Some of you have been waiting for someone to come and heal you. Waiting for the perfect relationship, the perfect opportunity, the perfect moment. But what if you are the healer you've been waiting for? What if everything you need for your healing is already within you, just waiting to be activated? The human spirit has an incredible capacity for healing. When doctors see a patient with an incurable condition suddenly recover, they call it a spontaneous remission. But there's nothing spontaneous about it. It's a testament to the power of the human spirit to transcend what seems impossible. You've been looking at your wounds all wrong. You've been seeing them as evidence of your weakness when they're actually proof of your strength. Every wound you've survived, every battle you've fought, every tear you've cried has been preparing you for this moment. The moment when you finally decide that enough is enough. Here's a truth that might be hard to swallow. Sometimes we hold on to our wounds because they become our excuse for not taking risks, our excuse for not reaching higher, our excuse for not loving fully. But what if today was the day you decided to trade your excuses for excellence, your past for your purpose, your wounds for your wings? The most powerful moment in your healing journey isn't when everything finally makes sense. It's not when the pain stops or when the memories fade. The most powerful moment is when you decide that your future is more important than your past. When you decide that your purpose is greater than your pain. When you decide that your destiny is bigger than your disappointments. Let me tell you about something that happens in nature. When a forest burns down, it doesn't just grow back, it grows back stronger. Scientists have discovered that some seeds actually need fire to germinate. They need extreme heat to crack open their shells so new life can emerge. What if your hardships are like that fire? What if they're not destroying you but preparing you for new growth? You've been measuring your healing by how much it hurts, by how many tears you still cry, by how often the memories still haunt you. But what if those aren't the right measurements? What if the true measure of healing isn't the absence of pain, but the presence of purpose? Not the absence of scars, but the presence of strength. Some of you are sitting here thinking about all the time you've lost, all the years wasted in pain, all the opportunities missed because of your wounds. But healing doesn't have an expiration date. Your breakthrough doesn't have a timeline. It's never too late to become who you were meant to be. You see, most people approach healing like it's a destination. They think once they're healed, everything will be perfect. Their problems will disappear. Their doubts will vanish. But healing isn't a destination, it's a direction. It's not about reaching perfection, it's about embracing progress. Look at how a tree grows. It doesn't grow despite the resistance of wind and weather. It grows stronger because of that resistance. Every storm that doesn't uproot it makes its roots go deeper. Every wind that bends it makes its trunk more flexible. Every challenge that doesn't break it makes it more resilient. Some of you have been trying to heal by yourself, hiding your struggles, concealing your pain, pretending you've got it all together. But healing was never meant to be a solo journey. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit you need help. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is let others see your weakness. Your healing journey might look different from everyone else's. Your timeline might be different. Your process might be different. Your breakthrough might come in a way you never expected. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Your story is uniquely yours. Here's something profound about healing. It often happens in layers. Just when you think you're done, another layer reveals itself. Just when you think you've dealt with everything, another aspect emerges. That's not a sign of failure, that's a sign of growth. That's not going backwards, that's going deeper. Some of you have been healing from the outside in, trying to fix your circumstances while ignoring your soul, trying to change your situation while neglecting your spirit. But real healing works from the inside out. When you heal on the inside, the outside has no choice but to align. You've been asking yourself the wrong questions. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of asking, when will the pain stop? Ask, how is this pain transforming me? Instead of asking, who's to blame? Ask, who am I becoming through this? Let me tell you something about broken things. They catch the light differently. A broken mirror doesn't show one reflection, it shows many. Your brokenness doesn't diminish your beauty. It gives you new ways to reflect light into dark places. New ways to help others see truth from different angles. Some of you have been waiting to feel ready before you take the next step in your healing journey, waiting to feel confident before you face your fears, waiting to feel strong before you tackle your weakness. But healing doesn't start when you're ready, it starts when you're willing. The world needs your healing, not just for you, but for all the lives you'll touch once you're whole, for all the people who will find hope in your story, for all the hearts that will be encouraged by your triumph. Your healing isn't just about you, it's about your purpose. Think about this. Every great story of transformation includes a moment of crisis. A moment when everything seems lost. A moment when giving up seems logical. But those moments aren't the end of the story, they're the turning point. They're not the final chapter, they're the setup for the comeback. You've been focusing on what your wounds have cost you. The relationships they've ruined. The opportunities they've stolen. The dreams they've destroyed. But what if those wounds are actually investments? What if every tear, every disappointment, every setback is actually equity in your future triumph? There's a power in you that's greater than your pain. A strength in you that's deeper than your wounds. A purpose in you that's bigger than your problems. But you have to make a decision. Will you keep letting your wounds define you, or will you let them refine you? When a master blacksmith forges a sword, they don't just heat the metal once. They heat it, beat it, cool it, and repeat the process many times. Each cycle makes the blade stronger, more flexible, more resilient. Your challenges aren't breaking you, they're forging you. Your trials aren't destroying you, they're developing you. Some of you have been carrying shame that doesn't belong to you, guilt that isn't yours to bear, pain that was passed down to you. It's time to break those generational chains. It's time to heal, not just for yourself, but for everyone who comes after you. Your healing will be their inheritance. The problem isn't that you're broken. The problem is that you're trying to fix yourself with the same mindset that broke you. You're trying to heal yourself with the same thoughts that wounded you. You're trying to love yourself with the same heart that rejected you. It's time for a new perspective. Look at how water heals. It doesn't fight against obstacles, it flows around them. It doesn't resist pressure, it adapts to it. It doesn't try to control everything, it surrenders to its nature. Sometimes healing isn't about fighting harder, it's about flowing differently. You've been waiting for the perfect conditions to heal, waiting for life to get easier, waiting for people to change, waiting for circumstances to improve. But healing doesn't wait for perfect conditions, it creates them. Your healing journey isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Some of you are afraid of healing because you're afraid of who you'll be without your wounds. You've built your identity around your pain. Your struggles have become your story. Your trauma has become your truth. But you are not your wounds. You are not your past. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. Here's what nobody tells you about healing. It's not just about getting better. It's about becoming different. The butterfly doesn't just feel better than the caterpillar. It becomes something entirely new. Your healing journey isn't just about recovering. It's about transforming. The world will try to tell you that healing means forgetting. That moving on means leaving everything behind. But real healing isn't about erasing your past. It's about redeeming it. It's not about forgetting what happened. It's about changing what it means. It's about turning your mess into your message. Some of you have been trying to heal while still holding on to bitterness, still nursing resentment, still feeling anger. But bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. Your healing cannot coexist with hatred. Your transformation cannot happen while you're trapped in unforgiveness.